Trying to get out that podcast
We
thing.
are live. Hey guys, this is Cree 21 Boom coming back with you today with part two of One Woman Man Breaking the Player Mindset. I have here with me today is Anthony Davis. He had his description down there, but I'll just let him introduce himself today. Go ahead, Anthony.
Good afternoon, people. My name is Anthony Davis, originally from Austin, Texas. Uh, Pretty much, I'm a excited, grown man, ready to explore a new and healthy relationship.
All right, so I need you to position yourself so that your face is not behind. See, now you look crazy leaning to the side like that. Just
That's
position
all we have
yourself.
to do.
It's a lot of space on it. There you go. There you go. I see you outside in the wilderness. All right. Thank you for joining the show, Anthony. I appreciate you being here. I want to dive right into it. Like people want to know. Like we have all these single men out here looking to pursue relationships after they done played with many hearts for many years. So we want to dive right in, and I like to start with the whole player mindset, like where it all began, what led you to the player lifestyle. Was it cultural influences, personal insecurities? Let's talk about it. So, where did it all begin? What led you to the player lifestyle?
What led to me being the player or saying different things when I was in the military. When I entered the Navy, especially when on my first war tour, going overseas, I started seeing a bunch of people being unfaithful in their relationships, marriage, uh, boyfriend, girlfriends. I saw the infidelity and the cheating. And then when I got it cheated on, that when my mindset is totally changed about women, how to treat women, how not to trust, just to do what the hell I want to do when I want to do it.
So, was that one case that you got cheated on?
No, after that, I got cheated on again, and I got cheated on a couple of times. But I was doing the cheating as well. After that first one, I was upset, hurt. I got played, real played. So I go through the experience for you like to know.
You say what?
I can share their experience if you'd like to know what happened.
I mean, whatever you want to share, that's up to you. I just really want to know where the player mindset came from. So, what I heard was you went through a couple of failed relationships, and then while you were in the Navy, a lot of people was cheating on their mates and their partners around you. So basically, you didn't have any influence or positive influences as far as healthy relationships. But don't isn't your parents haven't your parents been married for like ever?
Yes, but when I got into the military, I introduced a whole different lifestyle. I saw a new world. I was underneath the umbrella that I was raised under. I was put out there in the rain, as you can say. You when it's raining, you take a walk underneath the umbrella, you're gonna get soaking wet. That's what happened when I went into the world.
But your upbringing was
Especially,
different. Can you just tell me a little bit about the upbringing?
my parents been married for 55 years. They had their ups and downs, but they stayed in a relationship out of the commitment to first God. Then as they started, their relationship with God started to increase or got stronger. Their relationship got stronger. So they put God first, and then their marriage and family came next. So
Mm,
God had to be a center tension of their marriage in order to be and last this long.
okay. So back to like the Navy experience, you say you were under an umbrella. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Like, I guess the
Well,
influences.
growing up, in Austin, Texas, I didn't see and experience a lot of things. But then when I got stationed in Great Lakes, hanging out in Chicago, a whole different world, a whole different lifestyle I seen, wasn't exposed to. Partying, drinking, uh, just I seen a lot, especially when I went overseas. I seen a lot of activities, and I instead of me being influenced to them, I allowed them to influence me.
Okay, after the first, I still can't see one of your eyes. Can you see what I'm seeing?
Oh, oh,
Okay, thank
yes.
you. There, that's where you perfect right there. Perfect. Okay, so after the first failed relationship, did you not allow yourself to heal from that?
No,
So
no, not at all. That's when I just started saying, forget it. I just started playing the field. I was in military shoes. I was giving women fake names, all of that stuff. I did what normal, I thought was normal military people did.
what? Drink alcohol?
Just drank alcohol, played games, just did whatever, live for the moment. Because nobody, I could say, no, I ain't seen nobody being faithful or honest in a relationship. Women, as soon as a man go out to sea, they women out there in the streets, in the clubs, partying, looking for the next sailor, looking for the next victim.
So how does that equate to like your own personal values and belief system? Like you didn't already have that when you went to the Navy?
I had it, but I allowed myself to get compromised. I allowed myself to be, how you say,
Influenced?
I allowed them to influence me.
Hmm.
And so my mind, my thoughts, like I said, I was introduced to a whole new world, something I never seen before. And so it kind of like turned me on, excited me, something
Mm.
totally different. So I got fed up, got caught up into it for years and years. And it led to various consequences. I've been
So,
hurt. I hurt other people.
okay. So, at what point? Oh, do you mind if I ask how old you are? How old are you?
I'm 52 years old.
Two. Have you ever been married?
No ma'am. Or engaged.
You've never been engaged either?
No ma'am. I wasn't ready.
Okay, so now you ready at 52 years old.
Now I'm ready. I done
Or you
played all the games, been in the streets.
okay, so what did the healing process look like?
After my last relationship, it took me a while. My last relationship, it didn't end it like I wanted to. It
How did
was,
you
it
want it to?
was how I wanted to.
Yeah.
Uh, at one point, I thought that she was the one, but towards the end, we started drifting apart, and we both didn't have a desire, or I didn't have a desire to repair it.
Okay,
I felt
let's
that
talk
I could
about
do
that just
better,
a little bit if you don't mind.
and so
You said
I ended the relationship.
okay, you said at some point you thought she was the one.
I thought she
Were you
was.
faithful to her?
At some point, I was, but then I stopped being faithful.
Why did you stop being faithful?
I ain't said going anywhere, and she started doing her things. I started doing my thing.
But you guys were still in a relationship trying to make it work, even though you guys were doing your own thing.
We wasn't committed to each other. There was no total commitment in that relationship.
But you still thought she was the one at some point, even though
At
there
one
was no
point,
total commitment.
at one point, I tried to, but there was so much damage done. And so one thing I learned is about having conversations at first. There are a lot of things I didn't know about her, or nor did she know about me, because we didn't have them in-depth conversations that was required or needed to have a healthy relationship.
Like what?
But where relationship goes, ultimate relationship goes, who get to know who she is as a person, deep down. For example, I wasn't here almost 4 years, and it wasn't until like the third year I found out she was married 3 times.
Wow.
It
Wow.
didn't make a difference, but I didn't. It was kind of questions like that I should have asked.
Wow. What other things did you find out?
I'm not going to explore her. I mean, plus her personal business.
So,
But
so
I
how
have
did that
flaws.
affect you though, finding out those new things about her that you didn't know?
Made me realize that I need to do better. So I went to counseling. I went to counseling for a year after that relationship, and our counselor helped me
Go over it
understand that.
if you don't mind. Your face keeps getting like,
Oh,
yes, there you go. So you went to
I'm
counseling.
trying.
Okay, so that was a part of the healing process. Also, like what did
Yes,
you do? Like some self-reflection? Did you use like,
yes. I look at my part. So a lot of relationships I was in, they ended because I didn't know what I was looking for. My mindset. Uh, I, I just wasn't serious about women as I should have been. I always wanted to get married, but I knew that I wasn't ready. That's why I never went to that level of relationship with somebody.
mm,
Uh, I think for me, I didn't put God first. In other words, I didn't put the values that my parents taught me into my relationships about the commitment, being honest, uh, what a man should, what a man my dad is an example of what a man should be. He's not perfect, but he does provide a good example of what a man should be: protector of his home, provider of his home, his family, his kids, his community.
okay. So, so ultimately, if you had to just break it down, what made you decide to move from being carefree to wanting something steady and committed?
I was tired of getting the same results as in the negative results I had: guns put on me, uh, me trying to get stabbed, sugar my gas tank, windows broken, tires slashed, uh, all of that. It wasn't just the women's fault; it was my fault as well. They got into their emotions and their feelings, and they did stuff to retaliate based on some stuff I did. And so, if I got tired, in order for me to prevent that from happening, I had to change my behavior, my thoughts, my decisions.
Mm. What would you say to the women who call a 52-year-old man a red flag because he's never been married?
I don't see it as a red flag. I see it as a man who take a marriage seriously, though. A lot of people get married just to get married, and they go around cheating on their wives or being unfaithful. There's a lack of total commitment. So, what's the point of getting married if you're not going to be totally committed to your wife, to your relationship, and to the other people that's involved? Though, if there are kids involved, I mean, everything is separate. Your relationship should be, to me, a healthy example for others to follow. That's why, to me, a lot of marriages don't work, or kids don't know what a healthy marriage look like because they never seen what a healthy marriage or relationship look like. I mean, their parents or whoever, they just never seen one. So I want to get an opportunity, like my daughter said, she want to know what a real healthy relationship look like. She can look at my parents, but you know, it's my job to display that, give her the opportunity to see what her dad think what a healthy relationship is.
So you had the example growing up. You had a woman who you felt could possibly be the one, and yet you still gave up on the total commitment part. I guess what I'm saying.
I
So I mean,
wouldn't.
let me ask the question: do you agree that even when you believe in your heart that a person is the one, due to circumstances, it could be healthier for you to leave that situation versus staying in it because you have accepted that you're totally committed to that person?
Yes, I love it because I knew I wasn't totally committed.
That's why you left?
I wasn't totally committed, and there was other circumstances,
Oh,
reason why I left. But at the end of the day, there was a lack of total commitment. My heart wasn't in it.
So now your heart, or you willing to put your complete heart into it?
Most definitely, most definitely. I'm trying to settle down. Uh, Settle down, get married. Like I said, I've been in them streets. I've been with various women, and I know women are tired of me too.
I bet they are. You around here breaking hearts for 50 some years.
What
Would
they
you
used to call me,
describe what you were doing a person who had commitment issues?
I didn't have commitment issues because I wasn't really trying to be committed to somebody.
Oh, okay. And were you
I
honest
was a
upfront about
player.
that?
Huh?
Were you honest about that? Or I think you did say you was not honest.
I wasn't honest. I wasn't. I in and out of relationships, not even knowing a person. That person not really knowing me. I had women tell me they love me after 2 or 3 weeks of getting to know me. Y'all don't know me. I don't know y'all.
Women, stop doing that. Telling men y'all love them. Stop trying to manipulate these guys. They can see right through it, just like a lot of women can see through the guys doing that. Stop it. Um, so you see any emotional and personal benefits in being in a monogamous relationship? Like, do you
Yes,
believe
you
like
make
you'll be
yourself.
blessed or your life will be better? Like what? How's that work?
I see that as investing to someone who's willing to invest into me. In other words, we're getting to know each other. We're becoming one. I'm trying to come glued with someone instead for long term, not short term. I want us to experience, make memory, experience life together. As they say, soul ties. I found that out what that really is a couple of years ago. I didn't never heard of it, and at first I didn't believe it, but now I understand what it means.
What does it mean?
Giving your all to one person. If you keep on dipping and dabbing, you spreading yourself amongst other people. Uh, so there was a video I watched, and it was this man was explaining to his son how he was fixing a bowl of eggs, and he just telling his son how you put one egg in there. That's one woman that you know having sex with and all that stuff. You get to know her and all that. You exit out of that, you get another egg, put it in there. That's two women. You scramble your life, your energy with, and all that. Three eggs, another three different women. You all entwine in your energy. You mix with that person. 4 eggs. You keep on doing all of that, and everybody that you're mixing with, getting a part of your energy. Part of how you said they put a stain on your mind and your heart.
Mm, a stain on your mind and your heart. Ooh, that's deep right there.
That's like fluorine Clorox. I mean, a bleach on a red shirt. It's some stains you never gonna get rid of, and
Mm.
so the next person got to deal with that stain that first person left.
Do you have
So
people like doubting your transformation?
what you mean?
Like doubting that you're serious? I mean, because if you've been playing all this time and now, how long have you been on this serious journey to finding a partner?
Pretty much 5 years,
Five
but
years.
6.
So I'm sure that people that know you and know how you used to operate or used to operating doubt that you're serious or not. I don't know. Are they doubting you? That's the
Not
question.
now, not now, based on how I've been moving. But some people do. Some people do.
Explain
But
like that transformation, like from how you used to move to how you move now. Like how what does that look
I'm not. I'm not entertaining other women. I've been a man. I chose to deal with one woman only. I'm not trying to give any other one the opportunity, But then it's all about total commitment. I'm trying to commit myself to just one woman.
Are you currently in a relationship?
No,
So we got a single man out here, ladies.
I'm trying to change that though. Again,
Are you? So there seems to be a significant change in your mindset and behavior. Um, like did something traumatic happen? Like because a lot of time has went by. Like most men, they like figure this out a long time ago, and they tired of playing and they want something serious. And usually they steal from the value of knowing what it's like to be loyal and committed to one woman and maintaining that type of dynamic. Like you said, if not for just their kids, but for their image and their own family and surroundings, especially if they grew up in that type of environment.
so one thing that really is helping me change my mindset is my child, my daughter. We've been having some serious and honest conversations, and she said that I'll need you to be an example of what a man should be.
Mm.
She wants to get married someday, and so she look at me to show what type of man she should she marry. I ain't perfect.
And
I
what would
mean,
you tell her?
well, I tell her I'm a work in process, baby.
When she
I
say
tell
what
my
type
daughter,
of man you she should marry, what would you say? Like would you say for her to it'd be okay for her to date someone like you?
now the man, if a man is really into her, appreciate her, doing what he can to better himself, help her, encourage her to better herself, and she's comfortable with him, and she see herself spending the rest of her life with him, why not?
Mm,
If she willing to fight for their relationship and he willing to fight for her, why not keep on investing into him?
okay. So you haven't met a person that you would consider sharing your life with?
I have.
Okay. How do you prove to her that you are serious about her? Like what kind of things have you already done or is doing to prove to her that you are serious about just her?
My actions and behavior.
And what are some of the
Yeah.
actions like that you were doing and now you're currently doing to prove to her?
Communicating,
Communicating.
listening to what she want, trying to understand what she want and what she need. Uh, Stop entertaining. Well, I stopped doing that a long time ago. But just being honest and faithful,
Mm.
showing that I appreciate her.
For those who want to know, what is it about her that made you want to give up on the lifestyle?
What made me want to give up? It's just who she is, her personality, uh, her energy, uh, she's an encourager. She's she helps me become a better person. And even if we don't work out, I'm gonna appreciate who she or the lessons she has taught me in life. I'm learning to be a better person than I was before I met her.
Mm. That's good. Your eye's gone again.
Oh God, man, move that sign out the way.
I know it's so
Delete,
huge, right?
delete, delete, delete.
So here's a good question. How do you deal with temptations and old habits? Like how difficult is it leaving old behaviors behind?
Hmm. Because I know what I'm looking for, it's not that hard for me to stop. I mean, I just know what I'm looking for and what I want. So entertaining other women is is not it's easy for me to say no.
Why do you think, in your opinion, women settle for those casual situations with you? Like knowing you as a player, knowing you got around, knowing you had all these soul ties. Why do you think women settle for that type of stuff?
I have no idea. I've been trying to answer that question myself. Why me?
Gotta have some type of idea. They need to know that they shouldn't be doing that. When you meet a man and he clearly showing you who he is, he a player and he got this woman, that woman, you know he lying all the time. I'm trying to understand what about you that made them keep coming back. What do you
Well,
think?
from what I was okay, so from what I was told, it was a sex. One
That's
reason
it?
because of sex. One reason because of sex.
You know, a guy told me the other day, he said, when you make a woman feel like she wanna feel, she coming back.
Hey, what did 50 Cent say? He got the magic stick.
Oh, you got the okay. Oh. I don't know, my friend. Though I heard like the older you get, the less that thing is productive. So I don't know.
I don't know either. Why don't you take a poll on that and see?
Woo, child. Ladies, if y'all in the comments right now, I need y'all to tell me if he make you feel how you want to feel, are you coming back? I just want to know because men out here, they are adamant about if y'all make the woman feel, if they make the woman feel how she want to feel, y'all coming back no matter what. Because I know I heard if you have a baby by a guy, you always gonna come back to that. But now I'm hearing, because there's some new stuff, if he make you feel how you want to feel in the bed, you coming back. Let me find out it's really some magic sticks out there. Let me find out. Find out. Now let me ask you this. When you were in like the casual situations, did you care if the women were messing with other men?
Nope, I didn't ask.
Don't ask, don't tell, huh? It
I
didn't
didn't
bother
ask.
you the least bit, like them being with other people and then you and you being all these bodies, all these soul ties. It didn't bother you at all.
I wasn't asking. I wasn't asking. I didn't care.
Hmm. I often wonder, like, how does a person get to a point where they don't care? Like, where they don't care who's in their bed, who's in their house, who they giving their body to. Like, I always wonder that.
Well, because some people gonna lie about it anyway, though. Ain't everybody gonna be honest? It's like a woman ain't gonna tell you that. Damn, she said with one dude a couple hours before she saw me. She ain't
Oh,
gonna tell me directly, but I didn't hear stories about that a lot. I heard females in relationships cheating on their husbands. I mean, I've been the one that the other man on the phone. I mean, having sex.
you been the. I'm sorry. Say it again.
So I've been the side piece nigga before. Let's put it like that. I have
Well, you
been
didn't care,
some
so you
some
really, it
voluntarily,
really
some
didn't matter.
involuntarily. Huh?
I said you didn't care, so
I didn't.
how did you find out you was the side piece?
Oh, somebody told me that I was.
Oh, they just came out and said it.
No, they didn't. Somebody else told me. I found out through somebody else through another avenue. That person lied to me. Women lie.
Women lie. Get out.
Women lie. I've been lied.
You
I've been
let
played
me
on
ask
by
you
women
this.
too.
I know men, a lot of men. Well, let me say this first. Rice 320G says, cuz cho do. I can't spell that. He says, depends on what you want. If you want to feel good, you go where you feel good. I agree. So I'm just trying to understand how a person can get comfortable in those type of situations. Like I have a whole side piece series that I'm dealing with as well, like getting out of that mindset. Like how are you okay with just a part or a piece of a person? And it's usually the part you shouldn't be giving to somebody unless you actually really do care about them. I know women get in situations hoping or looking or thinking they can change a man's thought process on being with them and getting that relationship that they ultimately want. Like I refuse to believe that women just want to be out here having sex with no substance and no relationship and no nothing. Like I just refuse to believe it. I believe women are settling for that because that's all a lot of men are offering. They're not offering anything but their
So
body.
when I was a side piece, normally that's when I was in my early 20s.
Okay.
That's when I volunteered to be a side piece. Well, the one woman I was seeing, she was going to a separation or divorce.
Hmm.
So, but I knew she was still married and that she still had interaction with her husband. That's why I consider myself as a side, normally being a side piece. But then there's other situations where I was seeing somebody and I did not know that they were still married. She lied to me. I had a couple females do that to me.
Do you
But
think
at the
it's like
same
a
time,
tit for tat thing? Like,
so I don't know what was really going on with this situation. But then I understand I done the same thing as other females. Oh, they should with a woman, and I had some other females unknowingly, involuntarily be my side piece because I lied, I cheated.
mm. So here on my podcast, I look at cheating as obviously lying, being deceitful, manipulating, and like those are things that are like qualities in a person that don't just get turned off. Like you literally got to put in some work to not be who you've been for 40 plus years because you say 5 years you've been with this mindset. So, but if you've been doing something for 40 plus years, it's like, well, not 40, but you know what I mean, like 30 some years. Like, how difficult is it for you to like acquire this different mindset? Like, it can be easy.
It is. So once again, going to counseling helped me realize, understand why I was looking for a relationship. What would it take me to settle down with just one woman?
So, also here,
So I didn't.
okay, go
So
ahead.
I done dealt with various people, but I chose not to be enter into a serious relationship with them because I didn't feel like they were the one for me.
Mm. So, the current lady that you're seeing, you feel, is it a feeling?
Yes.
Well, feelings come and go. So I'm just trying to understand. So if you feel like she not, then you leave her alone.
If I feel like she's not worth my time and energy, I would leave her alone because that means there's no lack of total commitment.
So do you remember like with the last relationship you felt like she was the one and then you no longer felt like she was the one, which ultimately the commitment went to lack of total commitment. So with the current situation,
Well,
what's different?
I wasn't totally committed in none of my relationships until my last one. I I didn't make myself emotional vulnerable.
Until your last one?
Yes.
Oh, Rice 320 says, if your body ain't important to you, why would it be important to me? Now that's deep, ladies. That's deep. I need to go ahead and walk around the streets with that one. But when we talk about bodies not being important, like on the female, that's like, why do men find it difficult to govern their body? Because I'm sure within that 5 year journey of yours, were you abstinent?
No, ma'am.
So you,
So think about women these days. Some women just want the same thing. They just want to feel one body of another man or a woman or whoever. They just want that woman comfort, even if it's short term. Some women or some people say they want relationships, but they say they want a relationship, but they still will have engage in sex with somebody who they're not in a relationship with. That's a common thing I see these days.
can you mind repeating
Men
that?
having sex outside relationships, and then once you have sex with them, some people think that means that y'all in a relationship. That's not true.
So let's clear the air. If we have sex, doesn't mean we in a relationship. And women, I keep telling y'all, y'all have the access to sex. Men can't just have sex with y'all unless y'all agree to have the sex. So if you want a relationship, you hear it from a former player. Stop having sex with them until you get that relationship. Period. And they're gonna let you know whether or not they want that relationship. Um, so you said you've been having a mindset that you've been wanting something serious and committed for at least 5 years. And yet you still was operating with the player mindset and sleeping around. How's that work?
No, I wasn't operating in player mindset. I was operating and I was waiting to find someone that I feel comfortable enough with to enter into a relationship with. So I was like I say dating or trying to see what's out there, trying to find that person.
Mm. And you found that person.
I'm hoping I do. I did.
Well, why are you single then?
It takes two.
What does that mean, sir?
It takes two to be totally committed. And if you want to be with somebody, it takes total commitment on both sides. If one person is trying to fight or uh, fight for a relationship, it's not going to work. If one person ain't willing to give it their all, it's not going to work. It
Mm.
takes two.
So would you agree that a man that lives the lifestyle you used to live, do you agree that they get to choose whatever free sex? So, for example, like if the women are just throwing it at you or whatever, like did you go out and seek the sex? How did you have all these women? Like, what is that? How did that work?
Man, I rarely had to approach a woman. They. I ain't gonna lie. They just gave it to me.
So they was just
They, did-
throwing it at you. Here, take this, take that, take that.
they offered some offered it to me, and it was up to me to say yes or no. And majority of the time, I say no.
So, what do you think about those type of women that do that? Like, what is? I don't know, like the mindset of a woman that just here. You want my body? Like, what do you think when a woman does
It's
that?
the same mindset as a man has. If a man can do it, a woman can do it.
So you don't
I
think
don't
that a
believe
woman
that.
has to have an emotional connection to have sex with a man?
No,
Oh, so you've experienced this firsthand, huh?
I experienced firsthand. I believe that if a man can do something, a woman can do the very same thing. Just
Oh,
like some man call a woman who sleep around a hoe, then shit, there's man a hoes too.
so is it safe to say you was?
I was a hoe.
So what would you classify yourself now?
I'm not a hoe. I'm a reformed hoe.
What is like something you said you never do and then you found yourself doing as far as women with women?
Uh, getting I got angry one time. Well, I got angry a couple of times and did some got physical with him and something I really don't dislike having to do.
Having to do?
Having to do. Some women it's you be in situations where you lose your temper and it just you make decisions. You do things without thinking about the consequences. And
Mm.
that they always disturb me when I make decisions or when my actions take place without me thinking about the consequences. I react before thinking.
So what are some things that you've learned from being a player that you can actually use with the partner mindset, if
Treat
anything?
treat treat other people how you want to be treated. If you want to be respected, you got to respect other people.
Mm. So this is
If
something
you
that I
want to be
say.
played with,
Go ahead.
huh?
Go
If
ahead.
you want to be played with, if you don't want to be played with, don't play with other people.
I agree with that. This is something that I say on my podcast. Like you need to operate in a space that you want to be perceived as. So if you want to be a husband, then you need to operate as a husband. If you want to be a wife, you need to operate as a wife. So I'm trying to tell these women, if wife is the goal, you need to operate in that space now. You can't be having booty call here, booty call there, because you want to get some needs met. You need to pull out your bullet, take care of that, and govern your body and your urges until you find and meet a man that's willing to give you and want the same thing that you want, so that that can give it a possible successful chance to work. Otherwise, if you get with a man, he like you, you like him, and then he find out you didn't screwed this person, that person, he's almost gonna look at. Would you look at a woman differently if you found that out, like after you got with
No,
her?
no.
What if she
Reason
slept
why?
with one
Because
of your homeboys?
it all depends who it is. Because I know a lot of people.
It all depends on which homeboy it is.
It's all how close a homeboy person, homeboy or friend. So I got a bunch of homeboys of people I know. I know. I mean, hey, it is what it is around here. If you in well, an Austin area, there's a good chance that you done slept or your partner done slept with somebody you done slept with or whatever. But
Oh,
your close friends know who the boundaries. Put like that. Your close friends know who you mess with and how you felt about that person. They wouldn't cross that boundaries.
So if it's somebody close to you, then it might matter.
Yes.
Okay. Um, so how do you protect what you currently have? Like, how do you protect it?
What you mean how I protect it?
How do you keep it? Like, keep it going until so it can make it to wife status or husband status. Like, how do you protect it? Because I know that for somebody who's gotten around, I'm sure there are women that frown upon you choosing one and not choosing them. Um, so that can cause conflict. So it's like I know it's not simple. Is was it simple? Was it easy? Like you didn't have any issues?
Not really. When I made my mind up that I would be committed to someone, it was easy. I closed the doors
It's
because I'm
that
looking for
easy.
long term.
Where
I'm look,
30 some years and it's that easy. Is that what you're telling me?
yes, it's that easy.
Mm. Did it take you
If you
long
know,
to realize that person was you wanted that person to be a wife or had the potential to be your future wife?
yes and no.
How long did it take if you had to put time on it?
I choose not to share with that right now.
Well, they say most men know within the first 3 months uh, whether or not they want that person or they can see that person as being their wife. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I disagree.
Okay. So how can you at least elaborate a little bit on how you would determine that for your life since
So,
you've never been married?
so this is my thing is, I know you know about my saying, the lack of knowledge can sometimes create the illusion that someone may be perfect for you.
Okay.
Once again, the lack of knowledge can sometimes create the illusion that someone may be perfect for you.
So is more
So,
things you need to learn about the person? Is that where you're coming from?
yes, yes,
Okay.
you got to go through experiences. You got to go through the ups and the downs, see how a person react in certain situations, their mindset. Through the first couple of weeks or months, it's like you call it the honeymoon phase. But once that's over with, once you see that woman without her wig on, without her eyelashes on,
Will the real you please stand up?
after you see he take his dentures out or something like that, after you see his toes,
If he leave the toilet seat up,
yeah.
uh,
So
I'm gonna read off a couple of relationship myths, and I want you to tell me what you think about them, or whether you believe it to be true or whether you don't believe it to be true. Okay.
okay, okay,
Uh, a relationship will fix your personal issues.
false,
The spark will never fade in a relationship if it's healthy.
false,
Relationships should follow a timeline.
false,
Happy couples never keep secrets from each other.
false.
If they really love me, they change.
To a certain degree, it all depends on what kind of change the person's needs to change. Say it's a bad habit and that person begging you to change, and you should change it.
You don't believe that true love accepts someone as they are?
Okay, you can accept for a person who they are, but if a person not willing to change or better themselves, then it's kind of hard because you can love someone, but people always gonna change. So you gotta be open to change. A person not gonna remain the same.
Or at least compromise, right?
Don't compromise. I mean, life situations causes people to change. It could be a debt, something, loss of employment, or a personal health issue. It causes life decisions.
Hmm. What do you think about couples who take breaks are doomed to fail?
I believe that you should. I mean, taking a break as in going to another room, or taking a break as moving out. But when you allow certain things, time to elapse, that's when temptation start coming in even stronger. People gonna be in your ear saying, "I would have done this. I would have done that. I would have treated you better. I would have treated you differently." They start feeding you all that stuff that you feel like your partner should have been doing in the first place. But because you don't have that, it's like a bank. You gotta keep on depositing into your relationship. If you keep on withdrawing it from them and not deposit it, it's gonna fail to end. I mean, it's gonna end eventually. So if you're not communicating with your partner instead of taking that longevity break, I think it will end.
Mm. Well, I believe though sometimes time apart can also provide clarity and strengthen the bond when it's used thoughtfully, like within reason. I'm not saying weeks off from each other, but I definitely believe time apart can provide clarity on certain
Yeah,
things.
it all depends on the amount of time.
Okay. Do you think letting go should be an option when you are in a committed relationship if you're hurting
It depends on the stage of the relationship.
stage?
Yes, if you're in there for a while. So, for example, I don't. I disagree. I I don't like divorces, but I do believe there's reasons to give divorce. Physical abuse, mental abuse, uh, say for example, a man molesting the girl's daughter or anything like that. It requires that. It requires that because you're not just you're killing yourself from within. If you remain into that situation, you're hurting your own self, And what good you gonna be with somebody else or to anybody else if you broken inside?
Well,
You ain't good.
let's get a little simpler because that was pretty dramatic. Those cases. Let's say committed relationship and letting go because you're hurting because maybe you feeling neglected. Maybe you ain't had sex in 3 weeks and you thinking maybe somebody else getting it if I ain't getting it. And we
Talk
had
to
a
your partner.
conversation and you still ain't gave it to me. So it is New Year's Eve and you still ain't gave it to me. Like, what if that happened? Like, and you hurting? Because I believe that our body go through physical pain, when you're not getting certain needs met.
What is going on with that person from not wanting to give you sex? What is their reasons?
So a conversation, basically.
That conversation has to be had.
Mm.
Man, so mm, sometimes people refuse to have sex not because they're not into that person, but it's based on their mental or their emotional state of mind. They might be hurting inside and their thought is not on sex. It's like
Mm.
if you have a bad day at work and your mind's not on sex, but your partner, he's horny, whatever. Are you really just going to be into getting him sex? Or are you going to
Said
let them
total
show
commitment.
them?
You better spread it wide open.
No, I wouldn't do that though. I
You
wouldn't want
wouldn't?
that to
You
happen.
wouldn't
But
spread it wide open?
I'm not spraying my stuff wide open. You got me.
I'm talking about your woman. I ain't talking about you.
Oh, well, you gotta ask
Oh
her, not
my
me.
God. Well, Rice 320G said you cannot work anything out apart. How do you do that? How do you get a check if you ain't got a job? I agree. Do you believe if it's meant to be, it will happen on its own?
No, you gotta put in work.
Mm.
You gotta put in work. You gotta be willing to put in the work. Ain't nothing for free.
Do you believe jealousy is a sign of love?
It's not a sign of love, but it's a sign that your level of feeling. It's not a level of jealousy too. Being over jealous, no, that's a personal issue. Somebody to deal with. Kind of love. That's a that's an interpersonal thing that person has to deal with. But jealousy on the surface, that's yes. Everybody like to want to know that that person is jealous.
What does that look like?
Are you a jealous person?
No.
Okay.
I consider myself a territorial person, but jealous, no, I don't. No. But that can be up for debate. Who knows? Your partner should complete you. Did I say that already?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
As a person, you should be complete within yourself. You supposed to
Thank
add. Your partner supposed to add on to it to make it better, to enhance it. But as far as complete, you no.
Okay, because I was gonna say, um, you should come whole and fulfilled as individuals, and a strong relationship is built by two people who complement each other, not complete each other. I like that. I read that. I like that. A perfect relationship should feel effortless. I used to believe that, by the way, that a good, healthy relationship should feel effortless. You shouldn't have to. It shouldn't require a bunch of stuff you got to go through. But again, I know it's dependent on the individuals and whatever type of lifestyles they're living. So, for example, the lifestyle you lived for a long time, and now just within 5 years, you're trying to live this lifestyle. So, outside of cutting off the other women, what other things that you do to make her feel safe and secure?
I'm learning how to handle my emotions. Uh, get to know who she is and what she like and dislike. and communication, respecting her thoughts and decisions. It's not always about me. It's about us.
Now, that's my favorite. True love means never fighting.
Lies, 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 lies. As Murray say, that's a lie.
Oh my God. So if you was to have to give advice to someone who's trying to come from the player mindset to a casual, I'm sorry, to a monogamous relationship or marriage, what kind of advice would you give somebody that's struggling to leave that type of dynamic behind?
Good counseling. Good counselor help you understand, uh, help you figure things out, or what you're missing, or what you need in order to be in a healthy relationship. Now I ain't talking about like the common surface stuff. Like I need somebody who love me, somebody I can trust, or how they look. It gets just deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you got a counselor help you deal with the issues that previous relationships cause you to have doubts about.
Mm.
Because the relationship didn't work out, that means that I would never meet somebody or I could trust somebody to this level of degree.
Mm.
It's all about healing. You got to heal.
I was going to speak on that. So, most of the times, I've read that we are psychologically one age, and then biologically another age. So, depending on what traumas we had growing up, we still take them into adult, and when we're triggered, we become that injured child. Um, do you have any difficulties, like when you think about whatever traumas you experience? Like in your life, and they come out or you get triggered? Like how do you, if you learn something through counseling, if you don't mind sharing it, how do you deal with that, like when you feel triggered or angry? Because I heard you say you like had some incidents where you acted out of anger. So with your current person, like how would you deal with that situation if you got angry? Do you still act out when you're angry, or what do you do? What helps you?
I'm still in the process of learning how to deal with that, how to get that under control. Stop saying stuff that I may not mean. Stop. Think about the consequences before I act. Start thinking, because the
Yeah.
consequence behind everything you do and everything you might not mean it at that time, but it still has an impact because it's been said. That's like how you go to you're a part of the jury and the judge tell you to disregard what has been said. That's impossible to do
Right, because
because back
once
in your
it's out
mind,
there,
yes.
can't unsay it. Uh, this is a huge saying here. It says, "Love is not found; it's created." What does that mean to you? What does that tell you? That statement.
You choose, you choose who you want to fall in love with. They said it just happened naturally. You choose because you decide whether or not you want to make yourself allow yourself to become vulnerable to this person, or whether or not you feel safe enough to let your boundaries, I mean your guards down. It's a choice.
Is it a choice and a feeling? Because I know you said you ain't met nobody you felt like you wanted to start
So
that
it's
life.
the choice and the feelings go hand in hand.
Okay. So once you feel it, you start making a choice that this is what I want to do.
Yes.
I'm just trying to understand, sir. Sheesh. So
Ali.
before you even approached the new one, like what kind of preparation? Like was there a preparation? Like like how you gonna get what you want out of her, or how you gonna convince her that I'm serious about you? Or was it just words? Did you just use words? Like what did you do?
one way I learned that you could tell when a person really is into you if they're really interested in getting to know who you are as a person. Sometimes uh I done talked to people, met people, but I really don't know who they are as a person. I know the surface, like people know me on the surface level, but only people that close to me really know who Anthony is.
Mm.
And that's by taking time out to really get to know who I am.
Yeah, people do really judge you, or people in general, off the surface, after seeing them a few times. Yeah, I know him. I see him all the time. I ain't never had a real deep, in-depth conversation with you. I know people who think they know me and ain't never sat down and talked with me a day in my life. And I'd be like, how they know me? You mean they saw me? That is not the same thing as knowing.
Yep.
So preparation is the first thing. The second thing, and this is my idea of healthy relationship processing. Preparation is first, and then how do you practice loving each other, like, or loving on the person you're with? What does that look like for you?
For me, my love language is quality time.
Okay,
So
but
getting to know what, huh?
go ahead.
So I love showing a person quality time.
But that's
Some
your love
people,
language, so she need
and
to know
so
that
hold on,
about
and I need to learn what her love language is.
you. Okay. Do you
And
know it?
so it's not about me; it's about knowing that person's love language.
Do you know it?
Yes, I do, but I choose not to answer those questions like that on this
I wasn't
broadcast.
gonna ask you that. I'm just asking if you know it. So, because I'm trying
Yeah.
to get the practicing part, like how you
Okay.
practicing it. Okay. So my third one is protecting it. So you already prepared for her, and then you put it in practice. How do you protect what y'all have
Trying to get rid of all that noise and little
outside?
outside noise.
Okay. And how do you perfect it? Because that's the last one. So it's preparing, practicing, protecting, and perfecting.
Depositing into it, dating, and letting your person know that how much they really mean to you, make them feel appreciated, make them feel like they don't need to go anywhere else. My man got my back. I don't need you. What can you do for me that my man can't do? To a certain degree, because ain't nobody perfect, but that requires communication too. You got to be open and honest. If you're missing or lacking something in a relationship, you got to be open and honest and share that with your partner instead of anybody else.
All this came from counseling.
Yep. My parents counseled me till today. So I got a personal counselor and I got my parents as a counselor. And I got friends as a counselor. Hey, hey, you know what my recent new counselor is?
Who?
Toby.
Oh my God. So, audience, y'all hear that now. Counseling works. Reform player. Counseling works. Get the help you need to heal before you try to start a new relationship or a new life with somebody else, especially if you've been playing all these years and you want somebody to now take you seriously, in my opinion. So before we end the podcast, because we are about to end the podcast, do you have any closing remarks that you'd like to put out concerning being a player, concerning being committed, uh, anything like that?
So it's a myth that once a player or once a hoe always gonna be a hoe. If a person really want to change, they can change. And one thing I say is God, or I could say uh, the foundation of religion, the principles of it can help you change if you follow by it. In other words, practice honesty, be be a man of integrity, be a person of integrity. That's really the foundation of everything, though. Being a man of your word, being trustworthy. So if you're a man of your word, everything else will fall in place. And first of all, once again, I'm gonna take this back. God is love. So the only reason why you can really love somebody else unless you're in love with God first.
So you in love
I
with God?
believe it. I love God. Am I in love with God? I'm working on strengthening my relationship with Him back. I fell out of love with God. I will admit that.
You fell out of love with God?
I fell out of love with God because I quit. I didn't put Him first. I didn't keep Him first in my life. I made decisions where it's about Anthony. It wasn't about nobody else. I was my own God. As you want to say that,
Do you mind me asking, like, what made you fall out of love with God?
selfishness,
Hmm.
doing what pleases Anthony. Nobody else. Won't worry about nobody else. At one point, I had a nonchalant attitude about a lot of stuff. I didn't give a damn what they say or think to a certain degree. If Anthony wants to do it, Anthony gonna do it and accept the consequences later on. I was selfish.
Hmm. And counseling help you come out of that mindset as well.
No, it would it helped me change my way I move. But I've been knowing that. I've been knowing that about me for a long time.
That you were selfish?
Yes.
Hmm. So you got tired of your own BS.
yes, I knew. Yep, I was selfish.
Well, I'm also sure, like, okay, so how'd that work out for you, being selfish and putting yourself first and having a nonchalant attitude and not really caring about what nobody, how did that work out for you? Like, did you
Caused
have,
a lot of people not trust me, to
mm,
have doubts about me, making people cry, make people feel insecure. It was nothing positive about that.
mm,
It was nothing but a temporary good time feeling. It's like when a person get high or get drunk. It's only temporary, unless you keep on doing it over and over again. But then that leads to more bodily harm than good.
I believe that's why a lot of people cheat, like they want that feeling, that high. And it's so temporary. It's like now you have it. As soon as you have it, it's there it is, it's gone. And now you want it again. It's definitely like an addiction. I do believe that.
And then look
How
at the
do you fight
consequences
that
behind
though?
it.
Do you fight that? Do you find yourself having to resist temptation at any point?
I do. I mean, I'm a man. Thoughts come to my mind, but I chose not to act on it because I think I know the consequence behind it.
Mm,
If I'm trying to build a healthy relationship, that's gonna help. It's gonna hinder it more than anything else. And so I learned that I'm in control of my peace and happiness. So it's decisions I make. So if
mm,
I want some BS to destroy my peace, all I gotta do is make a BS decision.
mm,
Go out there and do whatever, and let my partner find out. It's none but cause, none but arguments, whatever. It ain't gonna help the relationship. It's gonna hinder it from growing.
mm. Right, say if we argue, I care because in order to argue, you have to care. I agree with that. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but some people just like to argue anyway.
And say some negative attention. Any kind of attention is better than no attention, huh? Ah. So, Anthony, I would like to thank you. I'd like to thank you for coming on and sharing your journey. I appreciate it. I do wish you the best. I kind of have some insights on your life already. I do believe that you have changed. I do believe that you have accepted this mindset of wanting a total committed relationship with somebody. So she's probably a lucky girl, whoever she is.
I appreciate that.
No problem. Uh,
Appreciate that.
any other closing thoughts? If you had to do three things Uh, three top things for a healthy relationship. What three things would those be?
Communicate. Uh, don't ignore your partner's thoughts or feelings. Respect them. The next one, stay faithful.
Hmm. Communicate. Do not ignore your partner's thoughts and feelings, and stay faithful. We'll rock out with
That's
that.
much more though. Okay, hold on. My final word is remember the
Uh huh.
lack of knowledge can sometimes create the illusion that someone may be perfect for you. Take your time to get to know that person. Sex ain't everything. It might be good for that moment, but take your time to get to know that person. That's very
Women,
important.
y'all hear that? Take y'all time to get to know a person. Coming from a reformed player, because otherwise they just gonna use you as mattress material.
Damn right.
Thank you, Anthony, for coming on. We're gonna end that show right now. And
Uh,
as I always say, y'all stay sucker free like Cree and have a good day.
peace out.
Bye.